In the early hours of the morning, a truck containing human cargo drives through an industrial estate, but the people inside did not survive the journey. By early evening, the lorry with 39 bodies still on board was moved from where it had been parked overnight so that those who so tragically lost their lives can be recovered. We don't know who they are or where they're from, but how they got to Essex is now the focus of an international police inquiry.
The lorry and the trailer will be moved to a secure location at Tilbury Docks so the bodies can be recovered whilst preserving the dignity of the victims. We're yet to identify them and must manage this sensitively with their families.
This investigation began shortly after 2 a.m. The truck had been parked outside a vacant industrial unit on the outskirts of Grays. It wasn't the police that were first alerted, it was the ambulance service. 5 ambulances were dispatched, but when they got here, all of those on board were already dead. As forensic officers carried out their methodical search of the scene, detectives were beginning to piece together how the lorry got to the Waterglade Industrial Park. The police were alerted shortly after 1:40 in the morning. The lorry had left Thurrock at around 1:05, but it had arrived in Purfleet Docks shortly after 12:30 a.m. and it's thought the container had travelled from Zeebrugge in Belgium. Where it was before Zeebrugge is still unclear. Originally, police believed it may have come from Bulgaria because that's where the truck is registered, but the authorities there say it hasn't been in the country since 2017. The window of the cab has Irish stickers, and it's believed many Irish trucks take on a Bulgarian identity for tax reasons. Sky News understands that the driver is 25-year-old Mo Robinson from near Portadown in County Armagh. His Facebook page contains images of what appears to be the same lorry under investigation. This witness told Sky News and the police that he saw the distinctive truck parked at the same spot on Tuesday afternoon, 10 hours before making its pickup at the docks, possibly waiting for the ferry to arrive and to swap containers.
What drew me to it was the unit itself and made me remember it. The cab looked very expensive with like big chrome exhausts and the paintwork on it. It was unusual from being like a company lorry. It was more of a private cab. Yeah.
And was there any sign of anybody at the lorry at the time or inside?
I thought that someone was asleep inside because the curtains on the cab were pulled round like the drivers do when they're sleeping in their cabs.
The discovery of the bodies and the launch of a murder inquiry was briefly enough to interrupt Brexit arguments, with the Commons united in horror at the news.
The perpetrators of that crime, and indeed all those who engage in similar activity, because we know that this trade is going on. All such traders in human beings should be hunted down and brought to justice.
Can we just think for a moment of what it must have been like for those 39 people, obviously in a desperate and dangerous situation, for their lives to end, suffocated to death in a container. This is an unbelievable human tragedy that happened in our country at this time.
There was appreciation too for the emergency services dealing with the aftermath. The huge number of victims involved suggests a smuggling operation rather than random stowaways. So even though one man is currently being questioned, the police will be well aware that there are likely to be other suspects, either in this country or in mainland Europe. Ian Woods, Sky News, Essex.